my hands are starting to get a little chilly now. Uh-oh. And you want me to look at you then with, okay, perfect. No, you're good. You bet. Yeah, absolutely. John Gleason, John Gleason, and I'm the Public Relations Director for UDOT.
Okay. What's happening up here?
Well, we've got a lot of work happening up here right now. We're filling potholes on one of the only days that we really can right now with all of the continuous storms that we've had. We wanted to take advantage of the decent weather that we have. This is the first dry day in a while, and we're out here. We've got a major pothole issue on this flyover ramp from US 40 to westbound I-80. So, you know, in this area we see the most extreme weather conditions, and we've got the potholes to prove it. We've had our plows out here every day. I think 23 days in a row our maintenance crews have been out here working without a break, and it's you know, we've all of that continuous traffic, the salt that we put down, all of the storms, and you know, our plows going across it. It's we're seeing a lot of potholes, more so than normal.
I've driven up. There's some other places. Where else is construction happening today?
Yeah, today we're also tackling the Kimball Junction exit, eastbound I-80 into Kimball Junction. We had some major potholes that formed out there as well, and really it speaks to the weather conditions and the extreme winter that we've had here. Really, all across the state, we're seeing these issues, but especially up here, we've got a major stretch right here of continuous potholes. And if you think about it, what's happened here, it hasn't necessarily been a one-off storm. There's been so many of them, but there really hasn't been a chance to dry out. So it's just that continuous moisture and water that sits on the pavement here. That gives it more of an opportunity to seep down into the cracks, and then you get the freeze-thaw cycle that comes in. That really accelerates the potholes.
What are some of the inherent risks of having potholes on the freeway?
Well, I mean, you think about it. It's happened to all of us. We see a pothole off in the distance and we try to swerve to miss it. If you're swerving in and out of lanes, that can be a major safety concern. So if, you know, we want to avoid people having to swerve, but also if you hit it head on, then you can cause damage to your vehicle, pop a tire, or you know, damage to your rims. So they're just really, unfortunately, a fact of life here in Utah, but it's something that we have to address, and we want to get it done whenever we can.
How long will you guys be working?
Well, we're going to have this section of road closed until about 4 or 5 this afternoon, and same with the Kimball Junction exit. We'll have one lane closed and just be addressing those spots. And then tomorrow we have work scheduled on I-215 out on the west side of Salt Lake by Indiana Avenue. We have some major potholes out there as well, but you know, we're going to be knocking these down as quickly as we can, you know, when the weather permits, because if you have the type of storms that we've had over the last few weeks, over the last few months, you know, it really doesn't allow you to be able to put the fix in place for these potholes, because it doesn't allow the mix that you put in there to settle before it's kicked up again with the traffic or the moisture. But you know, we're looking at the wettest winter that we've had in 40 years now, since 1983, and you can see it out on our roads. These are the crews that are out there every day clearing our roads, you know, out there with the plowing efforts, but they're also in charge of of keeping the pavements in good shape, and so they're the ones that are also filling the potholes as they come up.
Speaking of the storms, it has been a wet winter. Where are we seeing the bulk of these potholes?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Where are we seeing the bulk of these potholes?
Well, I mean, I think we're not really seeing a. The best way to say that, I think, is that the potholes are not really all that discriminatory this year. They're not discriminating the type of pavements that they're on. A lot of times you'll see potholes come up in the older pavements, but with the amount of storms that we've had, the amount of moisture, we're seeing them on roads all across Utah. And so, it is a major issue up here in the Summit County area, because this area sees probably more extreme weather than almost any other in the state. But it's really all across the state, and it really depends on the roads that you're traveling. Local roads out there, that you'll see quite a few of them, but you can see them on the interstate too.
Before the next storm rolls in, will you be able to fill up the majority of the potholes that have been reported that you've seen?
Well, it's the big issue right now is the number of potholes that have come up because of the winter that we've had. And so, we take advantage of a day like this, but there's still going to be a number of potholes that are still forming as a result of all of the storms. So it's going to be a continuous process, and we'll look for these opportunities to be out here repairing the road surface, repairing the pavement, and making sure that our roads are in good shape, because it really does come down to a matter of safety, and we want people to have a smooth drive wherever they're going. And so if it's a state road, and if it's in our area, that's a priority for us to be out here filling these potholes, and that's going to be a continuous effort.
Speaking of priority, what kind of prioritizes which ones you're going to be filling first?
Well, really, if any that we can tackle, and if there's a section that has been hit with a particularly bad problem, where we have several along this stretch right here. It's not just one or two here or there. It's very consistent along this stretch of road. So we can get out here, we can cut out the affected surface area that you see here, cut that area out, and then we'll put in a hot mix, and really it'll be good as new. This is a more involved process. Some of the methods that we typically use during the winter months with a cold patch aren't as effective this winter because of the continuous moisture that we've experienced here. There really hasn't been a drying out period. A lot of times you'll have these storms happen, and then it's a 1, 2, 3 day storm, and then it dries out for another week or two. And really, this has just been storm after storm. So that moisture just sits on the side of the road here and on the road surface and seeps into the pavement. And that's where we've really had more of a concern this year with potholes than we have had in previous years. Already this year, we've spent about $1.5 million. That's a lot of equipment. Already this year, we spent $1.2 million. I'll say that again. Already this year, we spent $1.2 million to fill these potholes and repair the pavement, whereas typically for the entire year, we spend just under $1 million. We have 3.5 months left of the fiscal year here, and we're heading into the time of year, the springtime months, where we'll see these potholes accelerate, and we'll see more of them. So this is not an issue that's going to go away today, and this is going to be a continuous effort by part of our maintenance crews to be out here and addressing them as they happen.
So this is kind of the start of the construction as we see it for the next couple months.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of we'll have all of the big construction projects starting here as well, but this is our maintenance crews. I can't say enough about their efforts. They've been out here every day. I think they've been out here for the last 23 days straight, plowing the roads. But these are the crews that are not only responsible for plowing the roads, but also filling these potholes, and clearing the culverts and the drainage system, so that when we have the runoff that we're expecting here over the next few weeks, potential for flooding, those drainage systems are able to handle all of the excess water. So they've got a big responsibility, and I can't pat them on the back enough or give them kudos enough, because we so appreciate their efforts.
I think that should be good, unless you have anything else to say.
No, I mean, just, it's a major undertaking here, and this is a stretch of road that got hit really hard. All the plowing that's been necessary up here, the salt that we put down, and then all of the continuous traffic and the moisture that's been up here, that all plays a part into the number of potholes that we're seeing.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you.